G'day friends, back again. I couldn't resist this morning because I just went online to check my stuff before I took off, and I noticed this term and this phraseology coming up a lot lately, and it's where people call other people a Christcuck. A Christcuck. You're a Christcuck. And of course, this word cuck has been made a bit famous in the last, few years, even several years, because it's a derogatory term really aimed at toward, liberals, progressives, soy boys, just weak type men that, we've seen a lot more over the past decade or so, whether it's due to these plastics or probably more so just the general psychological programming. I would say the latter more so. But, this word cuck, originally is short for cuckold, which, it's a description of a man whose wife is, sexually unfaithful, but he sort of keeps going back for more. He doesn't take a stand and, get rid of her or whatever. He's just a weak man, and he's cucked. He's a cuckold. Okay, but when people call Christians a cuck, a Christ cuck, it's like they're mocking them for somehow needing a crutch to base their life and emotions on, which is Jesus. And I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy of the situation here, because unbeknownst to them, they're more of a cuck than they know. So, if you look up cuck on the Google or whatever, and it's like the urban meaning or the more latent meaning, which is like a servile man, a progressive. You can sort of extend that out to being a liberal socialist, and that goes on even to being sort of asexual, incel, homosexual, transgender, sexual. It's like a scale, but on the closer end of the scale, it's at least you're a liberal sort of communist type. And a lot of these Christcucks, they think they're like these urban nationalists, where they're not globalists, because a globalist is a communist. And they think, we're just nationalists, we're, or even more so, racial identists, is that a word? No. Identitarians, you could say. Where, especially we're white, it's race, and if you're an internationalist, you're a communist. And, we're just national racists, let's say. And I'm not being derogatory. It's just there's nothing wrong with race realism, as they say. But they just think because they're racially aware and that they're somewhat of a nationalist, that they're not socialists. And a cuck is a socialist. You see, this is where the irony is. You know, when you pay tribute to a leader, or I should say a ruler, in order to receive protection and benefits like these, these people I'm talking about do, that's the definition of a socialist. Because you are forcing your neighbour to contribute to your welfare. And they might say, oh, I'm not on welfare, I work and I pay taxes. No. What about your public schooling? What about your healthcare? What about when you turn 65 and you're a pensioner? Like, somewhere along the line, you've been registered, initially, most probably. Your parents, entered into a marriage license with the state, which basically says that any product of that union is a ward of the state, is property of the state. That's you. So you're a socialist and you're calling other people Christcucks, where Jesus Christ actually gave the solution for socialism. Because once again, the foundation of socialism is where you bind yourself under a ruler and force your neighbour to pay for your health, education and welfare. That's a socialist, and that's what you are. So you're like a cuck, more so, because when you follow what Jesus was saying, that's how you become a man. Because a man is a free entity. A man is a king. And a king is one that does not pay tribute to some other man. So when you pay tribute to another man, that's like being a cuck. And that's what you do. Because you're a cuck. Now, once again, Jesus gave the way to come out of socialism and be a man, be a king of your own castle, or castle, however you want to say it. So, if people really know who Jesus was the man. He came and showed people how to be a man instead of a cuck. A cuck is where someone whips you and takes your money, and then you go back for more and pay them again to come and whip you some more. That's what these people like Adam Green, who call people Christcucks, do on a daily basis. And they don't have no idea about how they got there, possibly have no idea what state they're in, and absolutely have no idea about how to get out of that situation. And in fact, deny the one who came along and showed them how to get out of that cuckold situation. So yeah, now you know what I'm talking about being a hypocritical irony. So whenever you see this word Christcuck, just remember, don't be dismayed. It's just a tactic where it's virtually a projection. These are the cucked out ones. You know, some people call them statists or, whatever. But these are the cucked out types who don't want to take responsibility for their own liberty and freedom. And they think they're such heroes because they, look in the mirror and they know they're white or black or whatever. It's not about race at the end of the day. It can be important in certain situations when race gets weaponized and you have to protect yourself and defend yourself and so forth. But when it comes to what all men want, which is liberty, Race is not the utmost importance. It comes down to what are you doing? What are you doing about it? So anyway, hopefully that takes a bit of wind out of the sails of that term. Because if people really knew what Christ was about, yeah, they wouldn't be calling Christians cuckolds. Anyway, just another one for the day. Until next time, peace.